In recent times, I've received more and more inquiries from you guys regarding Suzuki's little Jimny, and specifically whether or not the Jimny is a suitable vehicle to use for overlanding, and it's a very good question. Now, in order to answer this question properly for you, we've decided to buy our own Suzuki Jimny.
Zambia is definitely one of the most overlooked destinations for overlanding. But in my opinion, Zambia is the Premier League of overlanding destinations. It's an overlanding mecca.
When we arrived at Ironman to go and collect a few things before tour, we saw Mick packing the Jimny and he said he was taking it with. I was like, no, you're not. Oh, you really are.
I got myself a little performance certificate from the Zambia Traffic Police.
Yes, the roads are difficult in some places. The conditions can be tough. The one place that stands out of all of them is South Luangwa National Park. I'm Simon Stedman from Ultimate Adventures, and we operate guided self-drive 4x4 tours through southern and eastern Africa. This particular tour to North and South Luangwa is probably one of our more adventurous tours on the calendar. But in my opinion, the Luangwa Valley is probably one of the most spectacular wildlife destinations in Africa.
After hard days of overlanding and many kilometers of tough driving, we finally entered South Luangwa National Park. The Jimny made it and Mick couldn't wait any longer.
From Wildlife Camp we head into the park to do our game drives, and there's a bridge that goes over the Luangwa River, and it always gets me excited when I hit that bridge, because there's just baboons everywhere. It's like a little welcoming party, and as you cross that river you can just feel the excitement and you just know there's something special up ahead of you, because all of those game drive routes basically go up and down the river. They just meander along the riverside, beautiful forests where there's a lot of leopard hanging around. South Luangwa's got one of the highest concentration of leopard in Africa. So game viewing there for me is probably one of the best you're going to get in Africa.
So it's our first morning drive in South Luangwa National Park, and we've actually brought everybody to a little spot. It's where the carmine bee-eaters actually nest. So as you walk to the end of the bank, it's just an explosion of carmine bee-eaters. It's really something to see. South Luangwa is a very unique park. It's very diverse. It feels like you're in very different areas. So in some stages you feel like you're in Maremi. In some stages you feel like you're in Mana Pools, just with those trees. Again, these massive, massive trees and massive forests. And what makes it so special is that Luangwa River, especially at this time of the year, because it's so dry. There's not much water inland, so all the animals concentrate down to the river.
I have to pinch myself every now and then to realize that we are in one of the best wildlife destinations in Africa. South Luangwa on the first day has been nothing short of breathtaking. It's different scenery, it's so much different habitats. The trees are incredible, and most of the wildlife tend to stick around the Luangwa River. So you drive down the river, a lot of the main routes are down the river, and we've seen some epic sightings today. Lots of elephant, beautiful birds, and you've got a little hint of monopools with the blue hue at the back of some of the trees. You've got a hint of the Kruger National Park with the riverine and trees. You've got hints of Botswana in the open fields, dead trees. It is a magical place of diversity. I am so happy to be here, and I cannot wait what the rest of the days has to offer here in South Luangwa. It's been a hard drive to get here, but man, can I tell you, it is so worth it.
I feel the weight behind my eyes, lean towards the color that lies within. Nothing between you and I. Still you right there under my skin. I've been waiting. There's no fault lines to crack and leave me aching. Thinking on a fault line, it leaves me numb, but it's something that might never come. So I'll be waiting here in your arms. There was a silence deep inside, held on a wish and gone with the wind. A whisper, just give me a sign, 'cause I'm right here, beyond and within. I've been waiting. There's no fault.
After our first drive at the park, we opted to go straight into a night drive. A night drive in South Luangwa is highly recommended, especially to find leopards as they are more active during the nighttime.
So I'll be waiting here in your arms. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting.
We were incredibly lucky to spot wild dogs near the river. They were very lazy and we decided to carry on, but something caught our eye. A female buffalo was lying on her side with a calf standing by her. We couldn't figure out if the female was injured or had some sort of illness. It did not look good for the female buffalo as she started to roll her eyes back and making distress calls. Our ranger did mention that a pride of lions was spotted not too far away from the current site. The calf had two choices: stay with her mom and potentially be in danger with her mother distress calling, or join another group of buffalo not too far from the site. The calf decided to leave her mother.
Your arms.
We were hoping to spot a leopard before we had to head back to camp, and luckily our guide found us one, and we had a few special seconds with this leopard before it disappeared into the night.
So on our first night in South Luangwa, Dirk and Mick went on a night drive with one of our other guests, and one of the things they did see on that drive was an injured buffalo that looked like it had fallen down the riverbank, and so when they had to leave there, it was still in some distress, so they marked it on the GPS. Then first thing the next morning, headed straight down to that area and actually found a pride of lions. In the night, the lions had obviously heard that distress call and attracted them, and that actually killed the buffalo. So we got a great sighting of that little pride of lions with some sub-adults just sitting out there on the edge of the bank looking out on the river. When we first got there, we didn't actually realize that there was a carcass. It was only when we came back again and we started looking with the binoculars in the trees, because there was a few vultures around by then, we thought that there must be a carcass here. And then we saw it was there in the bushes, but obviously they'd been feeding on it that night, so when we got there in the morning they were already just chilling and lying around doing what lions do. So when we all arrived down there with the group, Dirk and Mick had their fill of the lions, so they decided to carry on. And it was about time for a coffee break for us. So I said to the guys, let's just carry on down the river a little bit. We'll find a little open area and we'll stop here for a little break. And as we were stopping, I just saw some vultures in the background. They were just jumping around on the floor. They were a little bit in the distance. So I got the bins out and I had a look. And it was something you're never going to expect to see through your binoculars. There was a wild dog and a hyena eating together. So what we did, I said, guys, okay, cancel the coffee break, and we drove around and got a nice spot there and watched the scene unfold. And I managed to get a little video on the cell phone of the wild dog kind of chasing the vultures away while the hyena was eating this little puku. And it was kind of weird to see how they just tolerated each other. The hyena was eating, the wild dog was keeping the vultures away, and then as soon as the hyena had enough, she just walked away, and then the dog came in and finished it off.
You know, when that surreal moment, like, is this really happening? How is this happening? But yeah, they were on a carcass. It was a puku carcass, and the hyena was busy eating. The wild dog was kind of like standing guard, and the vultures were surrounding them. And every now and then the wild dog would chase them and jump and try and catch them. Hyena went on its business, had enough, off it went. Wild dog came in, had a few bites, took off, and then the vultures.
We went back to camp to stock up on some fruit and veg. Local grocer Thomas sells fruit and veg fresh from his garden, and he sells it at campsites using his bicycle.
You can take this one. Yeah, we can take this one, and then I've got some watermelon. If you want butternut, if you can, and then you have fresh green peas direct from the garden.
So when days comes now, they're going to have a look at the foods.
Okay.
Me, I'm looking for something sweet.
Okay.
What are these?
It's oranges.
They are sweet.
They are sweet. Yeah, they are sweet.
Let me try these.
All right.
And then I want from you, please, give me 4 nice tomatoes.
4 nice tomatoes.
Yes.
It was our last day in South Luangwa, and we were hoping for some good sightings.
So South Luangwa National Park is just over 9,000 square kilometers in size. It was actually started by a guy called Norman Carr. He went to the local chief and convinced him to set some land aside that wasn't going to be hunted, where they could protect the wildlife. And that was in the early 70s, and that's when South Luangwa National Park actually came to life. From the efforts of Norman Carr setting up this area, and he actually started the first safari operation in the park, doing walking safaris and having a lodge there, and they actually still have some lodges in the park to this day.
Wild dog. There's wild dog. I just saw them. I started rolling the camera when I saw a glimpse of them. Oh, they're just running.
Quiet down just a minute. Settle down and have another one, 'cause you're tired of the game that remains until you're undone. I hit the wall to the limit. I start over like you've just begun. I didn't lie to you because I never knew you. Only time will tell, only time will tell. It won't be over, it's never over. Now I let my feelings in. It won't be over, it's never over. Now I let myself begin loving you. It won't be over, it's never over. Now I let my feelings in. It won't be over, it's never over. Now I let myself begin loving you.
Another great sighting of wild dog was on our morning drive. The one morning we were just meandering down the river, and Dirk decided he was going to just carry on up one of the main roads just to get some landscape shots, and then came over the radio saying, "I've got wild dogs in the road here, it looks like they're hunting." So it took a little bit of communicating on the radio to try to find each other. Left here, left there, I'm here, I can see this, I can see that. But eventually we found each other and had a really great sighting of just 3 dogs chilled out there out in the open, just chilling with some baboons. Like they were just lying there, the baboons were just walking around watching them. But it was a great sighting because they were stationary, and everybody got to get a good look at them, which is always nice.
Now I let myself begin loving you. Loving you. Loving you. Loving you. Loving you. It won't be over. It's never over. Now I let my feelings in. It won't be over. It's never over. Now I let myself begin loving you. It won't be over. It's never over. Now I let my feelings in. It won't be over. It's never over. Now I let myself begin loving you.
This is pretty close to wild dogs, look here. Hey puppies.
The last day in South Luangwa proved to have some epic sightings, and one of them was this massive herd of elephant crossing the Luangwa River.
The anticipation of looking for a leopard and finding it is always, it's nerve-wracking because we know how much everybody always wants to see a leopard, and I know a few guys in the group mentioned that, you know, it's like day 2 and we haven't seen a leopard. And I looked really, really hard. I even put on my glasses. I was like, I'm not missing this leopard. I looked up every tree and I scouted every piece of road that we drove. Eventually I thought, you know what, if it happens, it happens, and it happened.
I actually got to a T-junction. I was like, should we go left or right? And then Des just looked up on the left there, and there came this little leopard walking down, a little female. This very chilled, walked right in front of our car. I actually lost sight of her. She actually went under the bull bar and then started walking off. And luckily the road kind of zigzagged a little bit, so we managed to kind of cut her off, and everybody got to have a really good sight of her. She actually walked past a couple of the cars and then eventually just went up a tree and just chilled there for a while.
Our last morning drive in South Luangwa was epic. Saw some wild dog, saw elephants crossing the Luangwa River, and we saw a leopard. I know I've said that Mana Pools might be the most beautiful place that I've ever seen, but South Luangwa, this place is mind-blowing. So many different sections of the park, so many different trees, so many different environments. The wildlife is next level. I have no words. And I know when I leave this park, I'm gonna wanna come back. Just driving around and watching, listening. Oh, I'm a little bit emotional because this place it's crept in my heart so quickly. Simon and Desiree, thank you so much for bringing me to this place.
Magical. This is truly, truly magical.
The wildlife camp for me is the best place to camp in South Luangwa, because you can obviously not camp inside the park in South Luangwa. All of the places for camping are just outside the park on the banks of the river. But for me, the position there is pristine. You're camping on the river, beautiful view. The pool, you just sit in that pool during the heat of the day and just watch what goes along the river there. Elephants. I mean, the one day, I think if we'd reached out, we could have touched the elephant. It looked like he wanted to come and drink from the swimming pool.
On the afternoon game drive, we went to a carmine bee-eater nest and enjoyed our last sunset in the park.
I think if we look back and you sit and reflect on the trip, those tough times, the tough roads we drove, the hot conditions, all of that, that's what overlanding is all about, and that's what brings us back. And when you sit and think about it, the tough days, you forget about them, because at the end of the day, it's all worth it. And we've had some great sightings. It's just been an all-round really good trip.
I think touring with Ultimate Adventures, not only do you get a delicious dinner every night, but you get the security of traveling in a group. You don't have to always be stuck to the group. We always, encourage people to go on their own game drives if they wish. We've got very good clients of ours, Wendy and Gerard. They enjoy driving all day, so they'll break away and do their drive. But yeah, it's the security of traveling in a group. It's making new friends, it's sitting around the fire, talking about the day, doing the highlights of the day. That's always my favorite, because, sometimes we miss little things. So everybody has their different highlights, and when somebody mentions a highlight the next day, you look at a situation in a different light. So, yeah, it was good to have you with us again, Dirkie.
Our Ultimate Adventures Zambia trip is coming slowly but surely to an end. We've done North and South Luangwa. This afternoon I'm standing here on my last game drive for our trip. Tomorrow we'll be heading home. By the time we get home, we will have done around 5,500 Ks of traveling. I have done this trip in the Suzuki Jimny. A lot of people said, why are you doing it? A lot of people said you won't be able to do it. We've done it to prove a point. Can you overland in a Jimny? And I'm talking about serious overlanding. Yes, you can. Apart from packing space and fuel capacity, this Jimny will do anything you throw at it. And apart from that, I have had the most amount of fun this side of being naughty. It has been epic. I've really enjoyed myself. I wouldn't have done it in another vehicle. Really had a load of fun. South Luangwa, folks, is definitely worth a visit. The animals here are phenomenal. We have seen lion, we've seen leopard, wild dog, hyena, elephants. The hippos in the river, well, this is Hippo Highway as far as Africa is concerned. So many hippos, so many crocodiles. And I believe that South Luangwa has the highest concentration of leopards anywhere in the world. And we've seen a couple of those. It is just a feast for the mind, for the heart, for the eyes. It's a phenomenal place. Definitely make the effort to come and check out South Luangwa. It'll be well worth your while. From here we head on home. We're going to be stopping over at South Luangwa Bridge and then on to Kasane, our triple end in Kasane. In Kasane we've got a little surprise for the rest of the guests. We're going to do a little bit of a boat trip on the Chobe River and then we're going to head on home. Hope you've enjoyed this trip with us. It's been phenomenal being able to bring it to you. And as always, folks, stay safe.
And I don't know what's happening. How did it come to this? I saw danger on your lips, and I took a sip. You got me paranoid, the fit I can avoid it. Your kiss tastes like poison. My heart has been destroyed. I know that you enjoy watching me sip your poison. You got me paranoid, the fit I can avoid it. Your kiss tastes like poison. My heart has been destroyed. I know that you enjoy watching me sip your poison.
Thank you so much for watching. If you do like the videos, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And if you want to tour with Ultimate Adventures, go to ultimateadventures.tv. See you next time.